As you can see, we have taken down our home and are ready to leave the Reach. I said one last goodbye to my Reachman clan friends, Einathak and others at Karthwaston, who were all so kind to me. I will miss the Reach, but it is time to move on.
Need a reliable horse in the Reach. That's what we have.
Before catching that boat to Solstheim, we will need to set up our log cabin and store our excess loot in it. We will be moving to southern Skyrim in Falkreath Hold. Specifically, we will be setting up our log cabin at the stunning Lake Ilinalta. So let's take that carriage and say goodbye to the Reach once and for all.
Traveling in the Reach is dangerous. You need a good care. Where do you want to go? Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way? Climbing back, and we'll be off. We're taking a swim in the Ilinalta? Take care you don't get nipped if you do.
You're aware of the stereotype
Say
that
it's
his
teeming
friends are
with
excellent
slaughterfish.
cooks, right?
Who knows what
I'm
else?
not one.
We are here at Lake Ilinalta. I think we have a boat service to get to the other side of this stunning lake. Let's see.
Where are you headed? You just enjoy the fresh air and leave the rowing to me.
Okay,
I think this is a great spot for the cabin. Let's set it up. Okay, looks good. Let me transfer all of our things into the cabin. After working all morning sorting through our things and storing them in the cabin, we are ready for the journey to Solstheim. The cabin is locked and sealed shut. I spent some time looking at my journal and remembering all the places we visited in the Reach. I thank Magnus for everything, and I'll treasure these memories forever. Now we will travel to the city of Windhelm and then take the boat to Solstheim. We make some purchases for the journey at the Riverwood Trader and get going to Whiterun, where we will take a carriage to Windhelm.
It is very sweet as it's made with sugar cane. Some chefs
Carriage, it's
occasionally
the
use it
safest
instead
way.
of sugar.
Where do you want to go? Going straight through, or did you want to stop? Climbing back and be off. You ever met one of them cats? Mage, I think they call themselves. I hear there's whole countries full of them down south.
Einathash, our friend in Karthwasten, told me to enter the city of Windhelm, head to the docks, and find the boat that will take us to Solstheim.
You eat our food, you pollute our city with your stink, and you refuse to help the Stormcloaks.
We haven't taken a side because it's not our fight.
Hey, maybe the reason these Greyskins don't help in the war is because they're Imperial spies.
Imperial spies? You can't be serious. You lost?
Maybe we'll pay you a visit tonight.
Are you lost?
So cold here. I'd say let's go to the inn, but I'm afraid I'll be kicked out.
Once we pay the captain of the Northern Maiden, you can relax in your warm cabin, Remy.
Wet, boring. Oh, I know. Trooper Day. Great. I dare you to look scrappy.
If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, you won't find a finer vessel than the Northern Maiden. Surprised you've never heard of it. It's an island northeast of here. Has a small dark elf town called Ravenrock, and a handful of Nords living in Skal Village. People don't usually sail over there unless they have a particular reason. It can be a pretty rough place. I'll give you a fair price. Not many people headed over there these days. If you ask me, I can't blame them. Things aren't what they used to be out there. They still pay me for supplies and passage, and I can always use the coin. Still interested in heading over there? You've got yourself a ship. We'll cast off immediately. Well, here we are. Welcome to Raven. Just be careful here. Things aren't what they used to be.
So here we are at Solstheim. The skies. Oh my. What kind of hellish place is this? Why is the sky red? And the Red Mountain's plume is visible even here. Incredible. I did not expect this.
I've never been to Morrowind before.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Ravenrock, Outlander. State your intentions. You've picked one of the worst places in Morrowind to do that, but suit yourself. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions? I have to be. As second counselor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern. This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here. We've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down. Councillor Morvain is House Redoran's representative on Solstheim. As second councillor, it's my job to support him and make certain his rule is enforced. Raven Rock started out as an Imperial settlement. The Empire decided to abandon it, just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles, but when House Redoran took over, we turned it around and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home. Your ignorance of our homeland doesn't surprise me. It's the capital of Morrowind. Been that way ever since Mournhold was sacked by the Argonians. I don't visit there often anymore, but we still get the occasional supply ship and visitors from there. Quite a while ago, yes. They cut a bloody swath across most of the southern region of Morrowind. Nobody seems certain why it happened. Attempted expansion, revenge for the enslavement of their people, or perhaps both. Whatever the case may be, thousands of Dunmen needlessly lost their lives. Many more were exiled from their homeland. Hail, Jolland.
Well met, Admiral.
You have my full attention.
House Redoran gained quite a strong position in Morrowind after the war with Blackmarsh. They were the only real military force after the Imperials left. They have been using that military power to leverage their position over the years. However, they do tend to deal with the other houses in a fair manner. I have no ill will towards House Redoran. They are very honorable and just, and I respect them for that.
Your visit here would be tolerated as long as you abide by our law.
I didn't think I'd be back in Morrowind so soon.
Remember, we're watching you.
If you're looking for passage, talk to Captain Gallo.
Adril Arano, second counselor of Raven Rock, has made it clear that he will keep an eye on us. I think it is better to be on good terms with him. The Sea Tiger. Okay, let's speak to them at Bloodskull Barrow.
Do you ever look at a settlement on a map and wonder what life is like there?
So we need to go outside the city to join the Sea Tiger. We will do that later. For now, let's meet the people of Raven Rock.
If you're looking for supplies, talk to Fecus. He'll set you up with whatever you need.
I hate to break it to you, but there isn't a scrap of ebony left in the mines. You might want to just move on. Excuse me, but the temple is for followers of our faith alone. Outsiders aren't welcome.
The statue of Azura, a beacon of light in this dark place.
Are so cute! Being so fierce yet so small just adds to their adorableness.
Need something? Just remember who's in charge around here.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out.
Zell and Remy, let's get a bite to eat and rest for an hour or so before exploring Raven Rock.
Damn it. Hold on. I think I have a pebble in my shoe.
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sioux jammer that will ever grace your lips. Welcome to the Retching Netch, Outlander. What can I get you? There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend. A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sioux jammer in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born, and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink!" and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick. True story, friend. True story. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. Of course. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
I love it. The culture of Morrowind is so different. We have a book here, The Reclamations. This book talks about the eruption of Red Mountain in Morrowind, which also ended the 1,000-year religion of the Tribunal. It says the new temple is the Dunmer religious body in the Fourth Era that worships the three good Daedra. The book also talks about the fortunes of the great houses of Morrowind. Very interesting. I did read about Morrowind's tribunal and the tragic Red Year event, but I'm glad the Dunmer people have a religion of their own now.
The Redmen have done a good job purging the Imperial influences in Raven Rock. There's hardly any Imperial architecture left.
Zell seems rather dignified, doesn't he? Alright, I'm ready-ish.
You look sick. Would you like me to make you a cure disease potion? Here you go. It might burn slightly going down. Don't mention it, friend. Already?
Alright,
I was
let's
hoping
get
to
going.
stay in this very spot for another 3 days.
I work for Mogrel. You got a problem, you talk to him.
Trailer.
The red sky. I can't get over this. I asked people if it is like this all the time without any sunlight. People say they do get sunshine occasionally if the wind picks up and blows the ash over. But it is mostly red skies here in Raven Rock.
What are you doing that for? Those are College of Winterhold robes, aren't they? The question you should be asking is, what don't I sell here? Because I have pretty much any supplies you might need. If it's not a weapon, potion, or armor, then it's likely that I have it. Jarland, over at the docks, brings me most of my supplies, and the rest comes from bartering with the people in town. Oh, Glover Mallory gets me a few things once in a while. He usually has the most amazing deals that I can't pass up. Bad? What if I told you that you're the first person that's even considered looking at my wares today? I've half a mind to contact my friends at the East Empire Company and see if they need an extra hand in Windhelm. Oh, absolutely. In fact, I've corresponded with Vittoria Vici herself more than once. You know, the lady who runs the East Empire Company warehouse in Solitude. The biggest warehouse they have in Skyrim. Ah, you're just like the rest of the folks around here. Mark my words. The East Empire Company will return to Raven Rock, and when they do, I'll be at the top of their list. If you need any supplies, you know where to find me.
I read that by 4E48, the island was no longer considered part of the Empire. The East Empire Company too moved on, once the Empire left Solstheim.
You're Melore.
Welcome to Raven Rock, traveler. Could I interest you in any fine ash-grown foods?
Your selection is quite extensive. I'm impressed, to say the least, considering you're all the way out here.
Yes, I'm proud to say that I grow or harvest most of it myself.
Truly. How resourceful. You must be quite the botanist, then. Say, I'm running a bit low on tin to come by flowers. You don't happen to have a few handy?
I do. I've been working on mine for a while now.
That's excellent. Would you be willing to part with some?
I don't know.
I'll make it worth your time. I have a few samples of noble sedge flowers. And to sweeten the pot, a few samples of aloe vera. I know that's hard to come by out here.
My goodness, you're quite resourceful, aren't you? All right. Here, take these.
And these are for you.
Thank you. When I have the time, I'll try to think how best to use this.
I wouldn't mind giving Geltis' Sajama a try. For, yes, I suppose it would appear so. Not especially, no. I can tell Melore is quite a competent botanist. I imagine she'll be able to grow those samples I gave her. That means I'll be able to come back and top up my supply. I've also established some goodwill. That should help with any future purchases. Also, I see great potential in Melore. Shame to waste her expertise on growing ashians. An enlightening conversation.
Oh, by the 8. Ugh. Ugh. Apparently you shouldn't eat scarecrows.
Oh, Remy, that scathecraw does not look edible at all.
We've got our eyes on you.
And what might you need, Admiral Arano, second counselor of Raven Rock. How I hate that title. Damn fool's going to get himself killed over it someday. He's in grave danger, and yet he continues to place himself in harm's way. When I fall asleep at night, all I can do is hope he'll still be there when I awaken. This island was never meant for us. There's too much death here. I assure you, if I could convince Adril to do that, I'd be on the next ship back to Blacklight. Unfortunately, Adril and Councillor Morvain are very close friends, and they will never abandon one another, despite my feelings. I'm the wife of a second councillor, and certain things are expected of me. The most important thing is that I stand by Adril no matter how I feel, and I intend to do that until we get off this miserable rock. Adril and I lived in Blacklight, the capital city of Morrowind. House Redoran has improved Blacklight substantially over the last 1,000 years. Its grandeur rivals that of Mournhold itself. The root spire where the Council of Great Houses meet is something to behold. I haven't seen the city in over 50 years. Even for a Dunmer, that seems like an eternity. Regardless, I hope to return there someday, which doesn't seem likely given my husband's commitment to Councillor Morvain. All right then.
You think you have it, then? Try walking the bulwark at night.
Ravenrock really feels like home. Minus all the ash and poverty.
Welcome to Ravenrock, traveler. Could I interest you in any fine ash-grown foods? My wife and I are doing the best we can to keep Ravenrock fed. Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always have plenty of food for sale. If you ever need apothecary supplies, talk to my wife, Elara'a. The Dunmer have been growing food in the Ashlands for thousands of years. It was born out of the necessity to survive in the harsh climate of our homeland. And now, with the constant eruptions of the Red Mountain, it's more important than ever. No, only the Telvanni have the ability to weave living growth from the ash. This simply takes the right ingredients, the right tools, and a lot of patience. Well, take a look at what I have, and maybe we can make a deal. Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always have plenty of food for sale.
Damn ash.
Looking for any potions? Ingredients? Alchemical supplies? If you're looking for any exotic ingredients, just ask. I might have what you need. Yes, I'm proud to say that I grow or harvest most of it myself. I only wish I had a better source for netch jelly. Those creatures are difficult to track down since it's so dangerous beyond the bulwark. That would be splendid. I'd be more than happy to give you something for the effort.
We're hunting netches. Just
Careful with
creatures.
those netches.
I feel a bit bad about cutting them down.
The entire island isn't covered in ash, you know. They have huge ice fields up north, and it's freezing.
How's that pretty young daughter of yours doing? What in the name of the Black Hands is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I was just making conversation.
Need something?
Next time you feel like having a conversation, talk to someone else.
Your visit here would be tolerated as long as you abide by our laws. Otherwise, you'll answer to the Redoran Guard. Remember, we are watching you.
Life must be tough for the Dunmer here, but I love how they make the city look so colorful and full of light.
This is House Redoran territory. You do well to remember that.
You lost? Thanks for wasting my time. You looking for something or what?
If I could find a way to capture sound, we could carry music everywhere with us.
Are you a fan of rum? You should try Thelul sometime. It is very sweet as it's made with sugar cane. Some chefs occasionally use it instead of sugar.
That they have forgotten. Here do we toil.
That we might remember.
By night we recline.
I'm not entirely familiar with the houses of Morrowind. Is House Redoran respectable? Now,
Far
back
from
to that
ourselves.
thought I was thinking.
Nerdwood tastes so absolutely vile.
Yeah? Take a look.
Until next time.
So, I was wondering if you'd tell me about House Telvanni. I'm not all that familiar with Morrowind things.
I'd love to enlighten you, Remy. Where should I begin?
Well, this is embarrassing, but I don't really know what the houses of Morrowind are for. Are they, like royalty?
Aristocracy might be more accurate. The great houses are organizations that exert significant influence over the politics of Morrowind. They each have their own aspects they specialize in, rooted in tradition.
I see. So what does House Telvanni specialize in, then? That's your house, so maybe, intelligence? Or patience? Cooking?
House Telvanni's focus is mostly on the arcane. Magic, knowledge, that sort of thing. Alchemy, of course, fits right into this theme. However, it doesn't get as much attention as the more traditional forms of magic.
Okay, that makes sense. And so what does House Telvanni do exactly? Tell people how to use magic? Do they have a college?
House Telvanni has a leading council made up of the highest-ranking members of the house. They determine House Telvanni's overall policies. The highest-ranking members are generally more interested in pursuing their own research into the arcane, and thus push for policies of autonomy and isolation. The house values meritocracy and the importance of rank. Thus, members are quite competitive.
That sounds miserable. A lot of backstabbing goes on, I'd assume.
Backstabbing, throat-slitting, poisoning. No one is safe. Not even Master Soul.
Oh, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. Let's change the subject.
Thank you, Zell. That was enlightening. As the skies clear in Raven Rock and the red ash disappears, we spend some time here at the statue of Azura in awe of this mysterious island of the Dunmer.